Hi, thanks for being with me. Get a pen and paper. I've got some tips that I think you're going to really like and appreciate, some money savers, and just some great ideas. Today is about kitchen therapy. So I cleaned the kitchen yesterday and wonderful things happened. Discovered some grapefruits that needed to be juiced. So here's my fresh squeezed grapefruit juice. And I got a bag of limes out, and we're going to prepare them to have lime wedges ready whenever I need them. And I decided to do the whole bag. So I want them to be safe and clean. So I put them in a bowl of warm water, and I put vinegar and baking soda, which I keep handy. So vinegar and baking soda, you put a little of that in water and let it sit, and then rinse them in hot water. And then you cut your limes in half, and then again, and then you go like this down the middle so that they fit over the edge. So in my glass, I've got one squeezed in there, and then one for more if I want it. Oops, I just dropped it in there. Gonna add a little ice to that, and it's going to be delicious morning drink. So some other things that I did when I was just getting my things around this morning, kind of finishing up what I didn't get to yesterday, was I made a spray. So this is a leftover Meyer spray bottle. And what I do with these, when they get about half full, I just fill them with water and keep using them, and finally they're gone. And I add, this time I added a 5-guard essential oil blend, and guard means guard. It is about killing all sorts of germs, smells really good, has several different oils in it. And so I put 20 drops of that in here with water and a little bit of alcohol. And that's my spray. So I went over here and I looked and I went, oh, that's awful. So I sprayed on here, let it soak, and I'll be cleaning that and it'll just come right off. But knobs and things like that, where Rhodey puts her hands all the time, they need to be sprayed fairly regularly. And then the other thing I do is I reuse these kind of bottles. I don't buy these new things of soap. And at the kitchen sink, this is just Ajax, which, you know, buy the big cheaper thing, and then add water, and you can just pump that thing all over everything all the time. It's so handy to have by the sink. So those are just a few of my things I was doing this morning. And then I had taken out one of these. This is a new one, but I had taken out one and it was thought it needed to be dealt with. This is a round, an eye of round. That's how you afford your beef. As you go to somewhere that sells it in bulk, I got this at Shamrock. You don't have to have a membership. I don't believe in those memberships. I mean, they just don't seem worth it to me if you really shop around. So it was thawed, so I had to do something with it. So whoops, that's the roast. Never mind, that's not what I did. So I cut up these steaks, and then I put salt, sea salt, this is my salt cellar, and Worcestershire, I know that's not how you say it, and some stone ground mustard, and some olive oil in there, and so they're marinating. So these are great to have around. They're so easy to cook. They, you know, work for anything, whatever you want to do. And you can get, of course, you know, nicer steaks, which we do. Again, for those were $3.50 a pound. This is, and we got some sirloin. What are they called? Anyway, really tender, really marbled, delicious, huge thing. And those were $4.69 a pound. Well, that's been a few weeks back, but you know, when you look at that as opposed to get the one steak for $25, you know, at the restaurant, is a no-brainer. Okay, another thing I did was I had a roast, and so made a roast. We ate half of it. The other half is going to go into, my daughter has promised to make a steak and ale pie from her Hobbit cookbook. So can you think of anything better? It's still cold here, so that sounds really good. One of the ways I got motivated to do all this was I went to the library because, take notes, you don't have to buy a new cookbook, go to the library. And I picked up Valerie's Home Cooking, Valerie Bertinelli, and that's a good cookbook. And then Danielle Walker's Eat What You Love. This is a good cookbook for people that want to do things, you know, leave off the grains, leave off the dairy and all that. She knows what she's doing, and she's not afraid of trying interesting combinations. So both of those are good cookbooks, and they're just motivating. So I did a lot when I cleaned out the fridge. I mean, there was some eggs that weren't very fresh, so I boiled them. So good to always have a bag of boiled eggs on hand. So you're busy, you want to toss this in somebody's lunch, whatever. Today, got the bacon. I cooked a bunch of bacon, so we're going to make chef salad. It's going to be actually more like a Cobb salad. Had some slaw mix. I don't usually buy mix, but anyway, I had it. So I'm making some kraut out of this, so we'll see how that goes. And so forth. Oh, had some leftover garbanzo beans, so I mixed it with some other things and I made a hummus, which I'm very pleased about. This was so good. Used some of my roasted garlic and various things. So the thing is, when you take something as nasty as a fridge that hasn't been cleaned in a while, and you not only clean the fridge, but you organize it and make it beautiful and put things where it makes sense, and you know, throw away the stuff you don't want and make something out of things that you didn't even think about making, there is no therapy, I don't think, that can top it. So, you know, forget the glass of wine and the chocolate and the therapist. Just clean your fridge and see what you can create. So that's it for right now, because I've got more creative stuff to be going after. Thanks for being with me.